didn't really have to overthink this. The best second case in the series is pretty easily the Magical Turnabout from Spirit of Justice. As much as I love the Stolen Turnabout and the Captive Turnabout, I can't really say either one of them are among some of the all-timer best cases in the series. But this one, I mean, it might just be up there. It kind of has everything going for it. I have very mixed thoughts on Spirit of Justice as a whole, and a large part of that comes from the fact that it is by far the Ace Attorney game with the weirdest structure. There's this dramatic, revolutionary story being told in this foreign kingdom, but we only see it unfold in every other case, since we also gotta have Apollo and Athena stuff to do back home. It can make for some awkward tonal whiplash. But to be totally fair, I think that only really comes into play with the game's fourth case. The Magical Turnabout makes a great argument for why this format could potentially work, offering an immensely cool and engaging mystery that makes use of the fact that Phoenix is away, letting Apollo and Athena tackle a very high-stakes case all by themselves, and perhaps most brilliantly of all, centering the whole thing around Trucy. Honestly, I did the math, and I think she might be my favorite female character in the entire series. Every bit as plucky and quirky as Maya, but with an air of tremendous capability and showmanship. The magical flair that she brings to the series cannot be overstated. And after she was so rudely sidelined in Dual Destinies, it was so nice of this case to remind us that, yes, she is in fact a major character in this trilogy. You also gotta give her credit. She lasted a really long time after her introduction without getting accused of murder. I mean, Maya and Athena get accused of it in the same game they're introduced. Anyway, I'm genuinely shocked it took them this long to do a murder mystery that revolves around a live event. One of Trucy's magic shows, in fact. It allows for such a cool and creative setting for you to investigate. One that really tickles my theater-loving brain. I was kind of predestined to adore this case, considering it involves one of my favorite characters in one of my favorite settings. But the good news is, the writing here is also top-notch. Bonnie and Betty are unbelievably fun characters with a great double act going on. But the star of the show here, with one of the pettiest motivations, craziest backstories, and most undeniable levels of aura, is Tony Stark himself, Roger Rettens. Slowly figuring out that this sleazy TV producer is a disgraced former member of Troop Grimari is genuinely mind-blowing. I feel like the 3DS games had a tendency to overuse and somewhat cheapen the whole culprit revealing their true self gimmick, with it not always being warranted to the extent that they take it. But here, it's incredibly natural from a story perspective, which makes it all the more chilling when Roger reverts into arsonist magician mode. Just the fact that he held this grudge against Trucy's family for 13 years, and went to all this trouble to create one of the most unexpectedly elaborate murder plots in the whole series. I mean, it's just insane, it really is. Who would even think of creating a remote murder system like this? And as if all of that wasn't enough, he also significantly raises the stakes on you by tricking Trucy into signing a contract that forces her to owe $3 million if she doesn't perform the show. He then repossesses everything the right agency owns, dramatically upping the stakes, since if you don't prove Trucy innocent in one day, your entire law office will be seized and shut down. It's a truly immense high-stakes mess for you to get into in just the second case of the game. And the entire time, this smug asshole is filming and mocking you. Oh man, I wanna say he's so hateable, but God, I just can't help but love him. What a phenomenal culprit with a great identity twist, chilling true persona, and equally chilling breakdown. You also have so much variety in the gameplay here, from dusting a coffin for fingerprints, perceiving, doing the mood matrix, and intuitively analyzing not one, but 2 different videos. Hell, Trucy gives one of the most unique testimonies in the whole series, where she demonstrates a magic trick for the court right before your eyes. It's honestly pretty challenging to pick out the contradiction here, but in a really good way. Maybe the first day of investigation is a little long in the tooth, but otherwise, this case is always engaging and never gets old. But I'd be remiss if I didn't mention what really makes this case so special. The prosecutor. That was a lie. I'm lying. Nayuta is one of the worst characters in all of Ace Attorney, but he's tolerable here. He thankfully doesn't really drag the case down too much. I like when he says, "What's crack-a-lackin', homie?" No. The real element of the case I find super special is how much insight we get into Trucy as a character that even the Apollo Justice game didn't fully provide. This is Trucy at her lowest point, desperately trying to convince everyone around her that she's fine by maintaining her bubbly, showman-like demeanor. But ultimately, despite how capable she presents herself, she's a horribly frightened and traumatized teenage girl. Helping her find her inner strength and defending her against a truly evil and vengeful man who she never did anything wrong to makes this one of the easiest cases to get emotionally invested in. It's a wonderful coda to the events of Apollo Justice that involve the Grammarly family. It's a great showcase for the resolve of Trucy and Apollo. It's got a tremendously fun setting. Every single character is great except Nayuta. It is undoubtedly my pick for the greatest second case in any Ace Attorney game.